Welcome to the Scientific Investor channel. As we were expecting, the crypto markets is kind of getting a bit of correction. In our previous video, we talked about this possibility, like we are reaching the overhead resistance here, and the possibility is that we may actually travel to the downside a bit. So like this, we may get corrected. So in that one, we actually told that the probability is like getting back to the first support area, and if it holds, then yeah, we can expect a rally further, or it may come back down to 0.25, 0.26 area, which is like the trend line support here. Not only the trend line support, it also add up to the horizontal support here. We actually discussed all of that in our previous video, in which we actually talked about this patterns forming, right? In this pattern, you can actually recognize that this is a 1 hour chart, and you can see that we reached the overhead resistance area, but we actually discussed through that in the previous video, right? Along with that, we have some interesting tweets which we will actually discuss through, and then we have other articles which kind of adds up to the bullishness of XRP. But guys, before that, I would like to request you guys again, if you guys like the content I provide on a regular basis, please do support the channel, hit the subscribe button, and by the end of this video, if you guys like the content, please do obliterate the like button. This is the first tweet in which which I would like to discuss with you guys. Like, this is actually retweeted by Status. Is actually showing that this is kind of a powerful message, and I do accept and agree with this perspective. When XRP moons, I'm going to spend the rest of my life helping as many people as possible. Now, I do share the same opinion. Now, I don't know how much XRP you guys are holding, but you know, according to the XRP holders chart, if you have at least 10,000 XRP, then I think that should be okay. Then yeah, if you have 20, 50, 100, 200, 250k of XRP, that's perfectly good for you guys. Personally, I don't have that much big stack of XRP, but yeah, somewhere in between 10 to 20,000 of XRPs, and I think that's gonna be cool if I'm gonna hold with patience through that time. And yes, if you are getting that much profit, then you should be expecting to help others, because say God is giving you something and you should be sharing that at least with those who are, you know, abandoned by others, say in old age homes or in orphanages. You should actually do that. Now yes, that's just my perspective. If you guys agree with that, it's okay. Otherwise, yeah, it's again okay. Now there's the next one from Nothing, showing that adding to the bullish XRP narrative, Ripple bagged this key partnership. Now, as we know that by each day when we are moving ahead, Ripple, the company, is actually getting either, you know, getting into new partnership and announcing that, or getting into new works. They are actually working with new companies, organizations, which they have kind of a non-disclosure agreement, so they are not actually announcing it, but we actually know that it's gonna come out soon. So that's kind of adding to the bullishness all over in this market, and we're actually preparing for the next bull run. Now we'll actually discuss that in the chart. Now next one is from XRP Crypto Wolf. It's actually showing Australia's government is launching its national blockchain strategy on February 7 after a year of preparation. So yes, governments across the world are now looking at blockchain, and they are looking it for the next decade. Right? They know that this is the future, and they don't want to get behind any other country. So they are trying to get up on their feet. This is from XRP Babs, showing Ripple expect the ripple effect. Financial giant SBI becomes crypto startup's top remittance partner. Now, financial giant SBI becomes crypto startup's top remittance partner. So when we look at that article, we can actually see that MoneyTap will consider accepting an investment from US Ripple in order to strengthen technical cooperation. So the MoneyTap is actually considering that, right? So when they are actually pushing this, what you have to understand is that the app is a domestic payment solution and lets people in Japan send money instantly using QR codes. Now you guys previously know this, like if you don't know this is the new information for you. Otherwise, it's okay. Now say Chinese people are actually using QR codes, you know, mobile money transfer apps instead of using their fiat. So they are like way ahead of us. So now this is actually bringing Japan closer to that. And as we already know that Japan and SBI group is kind of high on RippleNet and XRP. Like 80% of banks in Japan are kind of using that. So that's kind of a much more bullish news from that country. Now this is the next one from XRP Joker, showing XRP has been climbing since 16th of December. Gradual appreciation now sees XRP at 53%. Now yes, when a currency or any asset has appreciated like this, yeah, at the same time naysays, or if you are a critic, you can say that yeah, it went up like this in this short time, but it got corrected like 95%, so you should expect some bit bounce, say cat bounce or something, dead cat bounce or something. But I personally believe that that's not the case. We were in a bear market, but from last 3-4 months it's kind of getting a consolidation area. We consolidated and now we are starting a new trend. Now that's my perspective about this market. New direction is formed. Price is expected to continue gradually towards 0.3, then 0.5, and then yes, we are going to move from there. Now there's the next tweet from Ripple itself, showing industry consolidation and fintech innovation. So now Marcus Stretcher is sharing like his predictions, in which he states that the industry will experience further consolidation in crypto, fintech, and even traditional banking. Now we know that, right? Banks are feeling the heat now because the liquidity crisis is kind of at there. Now, if you actually look at another tweet I want to discuss today, it's showing you that this is Canadian perspective. The inversion in the Canadian yield curve, you can see that it has already inverted the yield, and the possibility are like, if that's happening, then yes, more or less there is imminent recession coming. Like you can actually expect that to happen. Now I actually retweeted one item. I'm searching for that. If I get that, that's cool. Otherwise I'll just try to discuss through that, in which it's like, when the yield curve is inverting and it's kind of dipping twice, it's kind of a signal that yeah, the recession is here. We are going to start it soon, not like 2 years afterwards, 3 years afterwards. It can start now this is the one I was talking about. It can start without much delay. Say it inverts once, then reinverts, inverts once, reinverts. It happened here, it happened here. So if you check the history, you can understand that the liquidity crisis is there. So I completely agree with Marcus Stretcher in that when we continue, we saw many crypto companies shut or get acquired this year, proving assets with no real use case won't survive. So in that aspect, we know which asset has better use case in the world, not only acting as just store of value, because it's just people's perception, like gold, right? If you ask someone new, they'll say gold is just a metal. If you consider it as valuable, then it's valuable, otherwise it's shit. You can put it in your teeth, that's it, right? But no, most of them agree that it's a store of value, and similarly Bitcoin is acting as a store of value, and I completely agree with that. I'm long on Bitcoin. Now the next article is showing MoneyGram launches online presence in 7.2 billion remittance market. Will XRP benefit? For sure it will benefit, because if you remember a previous statement from Dilip Rao, he was stating like, first thing is getting banks working on current, then slowly they will actually move in to using on-demand liquidity, which leverages XRP. So even if they are not using it at the first point, now when they move the second mile or third, they will start using it. And now when I'm saying that, I'm keeping these information in my perspective. Say Ripple's ODL will handle 20% of transfers to Mexico. Think you are a bank in Mexico or US who has a correspondent banking system connection to Mexico, and they're still paying their money to keep their capital dormant in those areas, right? And think, if they're actually keeping that for what? Transferring our payments and settling, right? So if 20% of their market is going to cut out by some of new companies, new players using new technology, they don't have much of space left. They need to get into this technology to survive in this particular aspect, that's payment and settlement. So I also believe that the banks will also start using blockchain ledger technology, maybe Ripple, maybe another competitor, but with the partnership of Ripple, I think most of them will be in RippleNet sooner or later. It's not like if, it's just when, right? We always say that and we still believe that. Now there's a perspective from Godfather, that's at Baba Kux, showing imagine a world where Ripple IPO and becomes a bank. Okay, now think when Ripple is starting their initial offering, in which it can become a bank. Say if it becomes a bank, that's going to be huge. If you guys want to go through that, that's article from Finextra. If you guys follow Godfather Baba, you can, or either I have retweeted this one, so you can find that in my Twitter. Now this is from next one from the Jack the Rippler. He's showing that Corona virus shut down Chinese Bitcoin minings. So the miners are shut down, and the supply is getting cut. So that doesn't affect XRP ledger, right? So that's how you say you are decentralized, not like centralized by Chinese. Now the next one is like XRP Stewart, and it's showing that less than this more total volume is available. So that's 100 billion. Now then more than this is used for cross-border every year. As demand and utility rise, the value of each goes up. So it's like replying to Bomb. And yeah, I don't have anything against Anthony, but I would like to say he don't actually understand XRP, or he denies it. I personally believe he holds a lot of XRP, but I'm not sure. But that's my opinion, because he had a conversation with the chief of Ripple, and even after that, if you don't understand what XRP is, or why it is useful, or why it will be the standard, then there is some kind of an issue with the understanding of that guy. Now we know that this is happening now, right? So say after 1 year or 2 years, there is more adoption and things are going to that perspective. Say when this happens, like there is a recession, bank will have to take their dormant capital, put that into work, right? So in that aspect, they need liquidity, and who's going to provide that liquidity? It's going to be XRP, I believe, because they have been talking to all those banks, and then they are in work with all those giant players, right? So I believe that that's actually gonna happen soon. Now there's a bit of issue with that chart. I was actually targeting to showcase this chart for you guys. See, I would actually, now in this chart I was trying to lay out, say, a daily chart, and I would like to highlight this. See, this was happening previously. Now when you're looking at it, you can see that when this is happening, you can recognize that the RSI actually went to the upside. Now it's getting corrected a bit, coming a bit down. And at the same time, if you are looking at what happened previously before the bull run, you can actually see that this happened previously, right? The RSI went up, and you can see this. We had a trend line here in which we were traveling. Okay, that's cool. The same is happening as of now. And if you look at that, we came back down from that overbought area in the RSI, and then slowly we got that bounce again. But what you guys have to see here is, like, when we were getting corrected, it was like a big pump, but as of now we didn't get that much, because the cycle is not repeating itself, it's rhyming itself. So the fluctuation will be different, the time frame will be different, but the pattern will more or less be same. It rhymes itself. So if you guys check this pattern happening here and what's happening here, and zoom a bit out and come to what's happening now, you can actually understand that you should be prepared for what is coming. Now if you are a fan of Ripple or not a fan of Ripple, you will actually understand this, that the long cycle of the bear market is over and we are in a bull market. And if you want a confirmation for that, draw this line that's like a resistance line from last 6 months, or extend it to last 1 or 2 years. You can still understand that we have broken above the long-term resistance line, thus the trend has been changed. Now yes, it doesn't mean that it's gonna bounce to the all-time highs and gonna reach there, but my perspective is, like, if you measure this move from here, say from this area to the top, it's like around 760, 780%. Now if you're measuring this correction or to the top, you can actually say that the 700% from here will be, say, around $2.5 from where we are now. We'll be moving till $2.5. Then if you consider the movement from here to here, that's around 1,300%. So that movement will actually keep you around $14 to $20. You know, that can be wicks, right? It won't be perfect. Now from there we got corrected like 65%. So that's like coming back to $3.5. So that's huge. Then we got a spike again. If the same percentage is repeating here, then for sure we are gonna reach around $100 or above. Now when others say this, we kind of think, this asset is only 0.25 as of now, and you guys are talking about $14 and $100. Are you mad? Now if the history is gonna repeat itself, or if it has happened previously, then it's completely agreeable that it can happen again. Don't like close your eyes on what has happened previously, right? So that's all for today, guys, and I would like to request you guys again, if you guys like the content I provide on a regular basis, please do support the channel. Hit that subscribe button. I'm looking to make at least 1,000 subscribers without much of a delay. If you guys like this video, please do support by hitting that like button, and I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.